Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Friends at Gameology, hosted by MoonlightCrew.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less. Age of War. Sounds exciting. Age of War is a dice rolling, kind of like a Yahtzee or Elder Sign type of game where you've got your objectives here. You're looking to roll a certain type of die face, and they have to match, but you can only roll one line at a time. And so it's a set collection game. You're also trying to get these similarly colored objectives, because when you do, instead of being 3 and 4 points to total 7, they turn over and they're worth 8 together. So it's more valuable to get a set. Although you can end the game without a set and still score those points. So pretty much there you go. Whenever you miss, like if you roll and you don't get one of the objectives, one of the lines on the objective that you're trying to, you set aside a dice, you're penalized, and then you try to roll again until you either get it or you've set aside so many dice that you can't get it. You can't get it anymore, and you pass the dice, and then someone else tries. You can steal these cards from another player as long as they haven't got both. Once they get both, or all four, or all three, as it is, they are locked. But until then, you can steal it by adding another row with the helmet. All right, simplicity versus complexity.
This game is pretty simple. You're rolling your dice. Some people have a hard time grasping the concept of only being able to do one row at a time. So if I have all 3 of these in one roll, I can't do all 3 of them at the same time. I have to place one, choose one, and then roll for the next one. So I have to roll 4 times for this card, at least, at a minimum. And so that's the only thing that people might get tripped up about, but it is not a complicated game. You're rolling like Tom's doing right here, and you're setting things aside. You're choosing which ones to set aside if you can, and then you're trying to get the card, to get the points. Most points wins. Simple.
Unbelievably, I just got both of these while I was sitting here playing. It's a simple game. We explain the rules. Oh, sorry. We explain the rules pretty quickly there. You'd be just up to speed in no time when you start playing this game. Very simple. Luck versus strategy.
I think this game is 100% luck. Maybe it's 95% luck or 90%. But because you roll a die first, you don't need to choose a card first. You roll the dice, and then you choose what card you want to do. So I got 2 bows. Okay, I'm going to go, this one's only 1 point, so I'm going to try this one. It's 4 points. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the turn trying to get 2 horses. I only got 1, so just set 1 aside and then roll. I only got 1 again, set 1 aside and roll. None. Oh, didn't get it. It's your turn. That's happened too many times, and it's all based on a die roll. And so, oh, you got 2 and 2, just like that? Well, congratulations on being a better at dice rolling. Right, it's really luck, because all you're doing is dice rolling. It's not even just that that's an element in the game. That is all the game is that. So, luck.
I find this to be pretty lucky. There's no way to mitigate there's no re-rolls. Like, you can't fix a bad roll. There's just nothing you can do. There's no tokens to turn in. There's nothing. If you just roll the dice, what did I get? I mean, you can try to decide, well, I want to go for an easier one or a hard one, but because this game only ends when these are all gone, when somebody scored each and every one of them, you'll eventually have to go for the hard ones, and it's been down to where the hardest one is left, and we've just passed. It didn't work, kept rolling, passed the dice, around the table, and it's like, this is getting crazy. And it's all just because not very lucky. None of us got lucky enough. It's too random in that aspect. I find there to be very little strategy. Very little rewarding strategy, and a lot of unrewarding luck. Fun versus boring. I find this game to be terribly boring. It's just too much when so many. So I mean, I guess there's the tension of trying to roll. You're like, oh, I wanted 2 cavalry or needed 2 bow and arrows, but I tell you what, it just gets to where you're just like hoping it ends already. You're like, I didn't get it. Pass. Like, can't we institute something that says if it goes 8 full turns around and nobody gets it, we can just say, all right, that's game. Count up the highest points. It's too much. It's just too boring. I feel like I could see some folks that are into maybe a lighter type of game. In fact, a lot of folks I know, even my own family, that just prefer to very deterministic luck just to see and for just a diversion. Almost a distraction, an escape from real life. I could see wanting to play this game, but this is not, to me, a gamer's game.
I think this game is, I can't say, it's not fun, but it's also not really, really boring. So I think it's in the middle for me. I do wish that there was a different end condition. I wish it was like, when the first player gets to 2 full sets that they can turn over, because then that would definitely change the strategy of the game. Because you'd go for, and so I just think that would, because then you might attack other people more because they got one of your cards or something. So I might add some depth to it. But I do think that just waiting endlessly for people's turns, it can get a little tedious. But I do enjoy seeing if they got the roll. Oh, you didn't. I just want it to be faster than it is. Not necessarily in my turns, because everyone's turns are generally fast, but just the entire game takes a long time that I want it to be. Because if it goes around a table of 5 players and only one person gets a card, you're going to be sitting here for however many cards there are times 5. And so it's too long for this type of game. I want it to be shorter. BGG rating.
My board game geek rating would probably be 3. I'd play it if you wanted to. I'd be like, all right, I'll play it with you, but you'd really have to want to, because I don't.
I would give this a 5. Take it or leave it. I'll play with you if you want, but I probably won't suggest, hey, this is a game we should play. So.
And I mean, by the way, Age of War is a deceitful. Has nothing to do with war.
Well, you got swords and horses and
bows and arrows, cavalry, but come on.
Which we've shot. It's very fun to shoot bows and arrows. Every time we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting. And now we can do a simple game-related design like this cat with a D20 die, which I think is awesome. So make sure to subscribe now on YouTube.
It could be you that wins.
Age of War, we've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.